What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics. And today we got a Billy Joel reaction, a song battle. Leningrad versus Goodnight Saigon, brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, Seals. Thank you, Seals. Appreciate you. If you haven't already, guys, and you have HBO Max or some sort of access to the material on there, I highly suggest you watch a Billy Joel documentary that just dropped recently at the time of me filming this. It's about 5.5 hours long, so buckle up, boys and girls. But tremendous. Very, very transparent, which you don't see in docs a lot of times. So I think it's caused a little bit of a Billy Joel resurgence, but he's always been here and he's always been great. Let's jump into this. Seal said for September 2025, when I'm filming this, I have two Billy Joel songs that are about war. Let's start out with Leningrad from the Stormfront album in 1989. Released as a single in Europe only. Title was derived from the contemporary name of St. Petersburg, Russia. The song was written about a Russian clown named Viktor Razumov, whom he met while touring the Soviet Union in 1987. He did 6 shows through that. Throughout the song, major items of Viktor's and Billy's lives are compared to show the cultural differences and similarities of the U.S. and Soviet Union. In the song, Billy describes Viktor's life as one of many Soviet children who lost fathers during World War II, specifically during the siege of Leningrad. He enlisted in the Red Army, drank vodka to fight the pain, and then became a circus clown, bringing joy to Russian children. Billy described his childhood life as being born in '49, a Cold War kid in McCarthy time. He briefly describes his life living near Levittown and the fear of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Billy also makes a reference to the Korean War, a proxy war to the Cold War, as well as the Vietnam War. In the end, the two meet after his Leningrad concert. Viktor had journeyed across Russia to see all 6 of the Russian concerts, where Viktor draws a laugh from Joel's daughter, Alexa Ray. Billy and Viktor embrace afterward. In the song's last line, Joel sings, "We never knew what friends we had until we came to Leningrad." All the way up in 2015 is pretty cool. Viktor traveled to New York City to see Billy's concert in Madison Square Garden. For this reunion, Billy played Leningrad, which he rarely plays live. Backup vocals on this were sung by members of the Hicksville High School Choir. It's a group of students selected by Hicksville High School Choir director Charles Chuck Arnold, who wrote the harmonies. He retired in 1989 and remained in touch with Billy, who went to high school in Hicksville before quitting, of course, to start his music career. He offered this opportunity to his students as a tribute to him and his influence on Billy in his early years. Went to 53 in the UK. All right, I think I know this song a little bit from back in the day from having this album, but I don't really remember. I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Seals.
Viktor was born the spring of '44 and never saw his father anymore. A child of sacrifice, a child of war, another son who never had a father after Leningrad went off to school and learn to serve the state, follow the rules, and drank his vodka straight. The only way to live was drown the hate. The Russian life was very sad, and such was life in Leningrad. I was born in the 38th parallel, blast those yellow reds to hell. Cold War kids were hard to kill, under their desk in an air raid drill. Haven't they heard we won the war? But they keep on fighting for. Viktor was sent to some Red Army town, served out his time, became a circus clown. The greatest happiness he'd ever found was making Russian children glad, and children lived in Leningrad. Children lived in
All right, Leningrad, so well written, and tells the story of what I gave you in the upfront. There is a documentary of those 6 concerts that Billy did that came out in 2014. I haven't seen it, but I would definitely like to seek that out if it is somewhere. I know it originally was on Showtime, so it could be on their streaming service, which is Paramount Plus now here in the States, or it could be nowhere. But a really well-written song. I mean, Billy is a fantastic songwriter, needless to say, and just kind of paints the picture, and you're there with him. If you lived through the Cold War, which I did, I didn't live through it because I'm not nearly as old as Billy and Victor, but still, I was born in 1971. There's still a total aspect of I didn't live through the Cuban Missile Crisis. That would be the scariest time almost in United States history, because the end of the world was right there, literally less than 100 miles away. But still lived through, the constant kind of fear sort of letting you know that nuclear war could be right around the corner, which it still could be. We're just kind of lulled into, because it could come from anywhere now, kind of lulled into feeling okay about it. All right, now let's go to Goodnight Saigon from the Nylon Curtain album in 1982. Seals, the patron who brought this, said, Billy said this about his friends that served in Vietnam. The song starts with crickets, then wind chimes and helicopters and a piano intro. At the end of the song, the process is reversed. Helicopter, wind chimes, and crickets. At his concert, Billy often invites members of the armed services on stage during the song. Seal says the song makes me tear up every time I hear it, because Seal's just a little bit older than me, and I'm sure he had friends that went through a lot of this. I've found it depicts the situation and attitude of United States Marines, beginning with their military training on Parris Island and then into different aspects of Vietnam combat. The lyrics about Marines in battle bonding together, fighting their fears, and trying to figure out how to survive. The singer, a Marine, sings of we rather than I, emphasizing that the Marines are all in the situation together. In the bridge, Billy sings of the darkness and the fear it induced in the Marines. This leads into the refrain, which has multiple voices coming together to sing that the Marines will all go down together, emphasizing their camaraderie. Billy had a couple different quotes on this. He said of the song, time has a way of healing wounds or making them easier to look at if they've scabbed up. The guys came home from Vietnam, and that's it. It doesn't end until these guys are absorbed into the mainstream and we deal with our feelings about it. He also told Howard Stern in an interview, I wanted to do that for my friends who did go to Nam. A lot of them came back from being in country and really had a hard time getting over it. And still, to this day, I think a lot of them are having a hard time. They were never really welcomed back. And whether you agreed with the war or not, these guys really took it on the chin. They went over there and they served, and they never really got their due. 19 in Ireland, 29 in the UK, 56 in the US. I give you those stat numbers because it's kind of ironic, right? Lower charting in the US, which it's all about the US than anywhere else. I own this album, but I simply a cassette at the time when I was this age, but I owned it simply for one song, Allentown. So I know I've heard this song, but I haven't heard it a lot. Let's get it.
We met as soulmates on Parris Island. We left as inmates from an asylum, and we were sharp as knives, and we were so gung-ho to lay down our lives. We came in spastic like tameless horses. We left in plastic as numbered corpses, and we learned fast soft soap. They sent us Playboy, they gave us Bob Hope. We dug in deep and shot on sight and prayed to Jesus Christ with all of our might. We had no cameras to shoot the landscape. We passed the hash pipe and played our doors tapes. And it was dark, so dark at night, and we held on to each other like brother to brother. We promised our mothers we'd write, and we would all go down together. We said we'd all go down together. Yes, we would all go down together. Remember Charlie, remember Baker. They left their childhood on every acre. And who was wrong and who was right. It didn't matter in the thick of the fight. We held the day in the palm of our hand. They ruled the night, and the night seemed to last as long as 6 weeks on Paris Island. We held the coastline, they held the highlands, and they were sharp as knives. They heard the hum of our motors, they counted the rotors and waited for us to arrive. And we would all go down together. We said we'd all go down together. Yes, we would all go down together.
Wow. Just so incredibly powerful. It's a cinematic scope, right, of a song. It just pulls you in. You're right there with them. The emotion, the arrangement. I mean, it's just masterful, man. It's just fantastic. I mean, I really covered it in the upfront. I mean, so did Seals, but Yeah, it's so good. I mean, I've only heard it a couple times, but it's a little different when you're older, like I am now. I'm not 11 years old when I owned the cassette, and just life experience and really putting yourself in these situations. So, yeah, I mean, great choice. And now I got to pick a winner. They're both fantastically written, but I mean, it's not even close for me. It's going to be Goodnight Saigon, but I need to know what you think down below. Let me know which song you think won and maybe why. Not a lot of Billy up on the channel. Needs to be more. I love Billy Joel. Seals is a patron, brought this. If you like sports in any way, check out the Patreon link below, the Patreon link on the Instagram. Couldn't do it without the patrons. You want to give a one-time gift, one-time donation, one-time reaction. Check out our Buy Me a Coffee page. All right, guys, appreciate you joining me. Until next time, I will see you.